Hi, thank you for clicking on my video. Now, before we jump into the topic, I just want to say, if you are someone who is enjoying my content but you're not subscribed yet, you should go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you know exactly when the videos are uploaded onto the channel. Also, if you enjoy, you should be hitting like on the video so that I know that you like it. Please and thank you. I would appreciate it. Now, onto the topic. We will be jumping back into the Family Guy universe today, talking about Meg. As per usual, if you have never seen Family Guy before and you don't like spoilers, jump off of here, go watch Family Guy, and then come back. If you don't care, we move on. Alright, so Meg gets treated the absolute worst. We know that. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I will talk about it someday, but not today. Now, Meg does get treated like crap on a daily basis. She also is crazy as hell. To be fair, she was born into a family of crazy ass people. Like her parents are really, they really, okay? But she has the tendency to get really obsessed really fast, and she has gone and done some really insane things because of love. But I feel like it's mainly because, well, she's always getting treated so terrible that the moment that someone does one thing that's nice for her, she's going to lose her shit. And we see that across so many episodes. I want to start out by saying there was an episode where she liked this guy he was like a baseball player or basketball player at their school or whatever, and he was nice to her. He didn't treat her like scum. He didn't treat her terrible at all, and he considered them friends. She liked him, and she was very open to him about that, and it turned out that he was gay. And actually, not only was he gay, he was interested in Chris. And so Meg proceeded to try and set Chris up to be by this boy. And she went and got like roofies from Quagmire and roofied this boy. Or no, she was going to roofie him, but then Chris had said something really nice to her, so she changed her mind, but then forgot to tell the dude, don't come to his room. Like, girl, like, she was tripping. I understand Chris being upset with her in this episode, because what are we talking about? Like, when you ask him, and this is the issue. She asked him, hey, this guy is gay. He likes you. Can you date him for me so that I can live vicariously through you? And Chris said, Meg, I ain't gay. What the hell? No, I'm not doing that. And she got mad, and, it led to that. So you didn't take no for an answer. And that happens so often with her, right? I think one of the first early signs of her obsession that we see is the episode with Brian. Now, to be fair, Brian did kiss her. He was drunk as hell when it happened, and he regretted it deeply. He wasn't trying to lead her on. He wasn't even trying. He didn't even want to be where he was at, which is why he was drinking to begin with, but he still did it, and it led Meg to thinking that they were a whole thing. She was trying to introduce this boy as her boyfriend to her group of friends. She gave him pie with her hair in it. And this is my thing, because in this episode, Brian went to Peter and Lois and told them what happened, and was like, hey, she acting crazy. And they didn't believe that Meg was even obsessed with him or interested in him. They didn't believe him. And it took, going through the episode, and they like, oh, she is acting crazy. I think she even kidnapped Brian. She kidnapped him. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, Meg is tripping. And, so they, fixed that whole situation. And then she does it again. And this is my issue. She does this again when it comes to Joe. Now, Joe goes to Peter and Lois and says Meg is acting weird. And I know she had that situation with Brian a few years back. And I just want to bring it to y'all attention that she might be getting a bit obsessed with me now. And they laughed in his face because he's crippled. Why would she be obsessed? Like, what are you talking about? he was nice to her. The moment that someone is nice to Meg, she gonna go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And you know what made her think that he wanted to be with her? So Bonnie needed somebody to help care for Joe and the baby while she was gone on a trip, being as terrible as Bonnie can be. And, you know, Lois didn't want to do it, so she convinced Meg to do it. And she missed her bus one morning, and he took her to the school, just dropped her off. Didn't have a problem with dropping her off in front of the school. And that is all she needed to know that Joe wanted to be with her. Yeah, she crazy. You know, and you know what's the saddest part about it is the only reason she jumps to conclusions so fast like that is because of how bad she's treated on a regular basis. That a simple gesture as just dropping her off in front of the school that she goes to makes her think that someone wants to be with her, when in any other circumstance that's just a normal thing to do. Like, just a normal thing. And the fact that no one stops and be like, Meg, hold on, you know, we need to really just figure this out, because we're doing something wrong. We're doing something very wrong if every time somebody shows you one kind gesture, you immediately jump and be like, oh, this is the love of my life. I have to do whatever it takes. Y'all, she got Bonnie arrested, by the way. She put a gun in Bonnie's suitcase when she was finna go through the airport, and got her arrested because she was like, if she out the picture, he's definitely gonna want me. Insane, you know, just insanity. And we this is another thing. Then this wasn't necessarily obsessed, but I feel like this just shows how far gone her mind gets when it comes to just life because of how she's treated. There's a whole episode where she literally hallucinates a whole boyfriend, and she's like committing these crimes or whatever. Like, I don't know if she was actually committing them herself and then being her own getaway driver, or if she was hallucinating being a getaway driver and then just speed stirring down the street, which was causing like police officers to chase her, like because of the speed limit, not because of the crime you're thinking that you're committing. I don't know. But, you know, she thinks she's committing these crimes and being the getaway driver to all of these crimes. And it took Chris to be like, Meg, you are tripping. You have been sitting in this car talking to yourself. Like, you have been going off by yourself. You've been making out with your arms, girl. Like, nothing is, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, it took him bringing her back to reality. Like, that's how bad it is that she has to escape her reality to feel wanted, to feel like she's not an issue in everybody's life. And that is sad, you know. And that's why that episode when she was dating this guy, I don't know, I think they started out as pen pals. He was a prisoner, and he escaped prison and went to her, and you know, she like, well, I love him, so it is what it is. I don't care. They arrest Meg as well. They took him back to prison and arrest her as well and put her in jail. And when she got out, she was acting crazy. Like, she was bullying everybody in the house. She was beating on people, and she knocked her bullies upside the head with a bag of soda cans. I think they deserved that. Like, they literally spent every day that they could torturing her and making her feel bad about herself, and she got out of a place that y'all put her in, by the way, for harboring a fugitive. You know, you what did you expect her to do when she came out? Just be back normal Meg? Like, no. And then the fact that Lois wanted to pretend to care then, like, but you see, the reason why she was even harboring the guy in the first place is because he showed interest in her. You see the theme here? Like, she probably would have been like, bro, you crazy as hell, if she had two parents that actually gave a fuck about her. Like, and don't get me wrong, I feel like Peter definitely cares about her to an extent. He cares about her way more than Lois does, but this is not about that. You know, at the end of the day, y'all two are supposed to show her love and care and let her know that, you know, in life, you know, even if the outside world don't fuck with her, you do. And instead of doing that, y'all are her biggest ops. Y'all are her biggest problem. And so she has to try and seek validation through these wild either imaginations that she comes up with or wherever she can get it. And so she oftentimes puts herself in a situation where she's with someone that she shouldn't be around or with, because they show her 1 inch of kindness and show a little bit of interest in her. It's kind of sad. That's where I'm going to end it today. I have so much more to say when it comes to Meg's love life, but it does not have to do with obsession, so we're going to save that for a different video. Again, if you like the videos, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel once again, please. And also, if you made it this far, why don't you tell me your feelings on Meg? Like, if you like her, what's one of your favorite Meg moments? If you don't like her, I need to know why. Why you don't like Meg. With that being said, until next time, bye.